Another exciting, gorgeous day. I just can't get over this weather. It's sort of crazy. Not a cloud in the sky. It's a hike with the jacket off kind of day. So that's where we're headed, up there. Can't see it at all, but there's a tagline in the air above me. We usually keep a slackline rigged from an anchor up there most of the year, but we took it down this season to help preserve the webbing because no one was really going to use it. There are these cattle trails all over the property on steep terrain like this. You can use them one of two ways. You can follow them the shallow way, which leads you on a gradual grade up the hill, or you can walk on them like steps and destroy yourself. Today's project is a little bit different than what I've been doing so far. This is my working space. Usually in the normal sunny seasons and warm months, we keep a permanently rigged highline from this tree out across this huge chasm over to that side. And it's really cool. You have that view the entire time you're on the line. And over there through the woods, we've built up in this giant old white oak tree a really cool tree net, which you'll see in a future video as I'm working on that in different ways. And the plan is to sort of put a similar one over here, albeit a little bit different. That one's high up in a tree. This one we're going to put a little bit lower to the ground and then have some climbing apparatuses that get you higher to where you go onto the high lines. And in the future, we'll have potentially a bunch of other high lines that come off of this tree, because obviously this gap has limitless potential. So I am going to progressively build the scaffolding, the outer perimeter, probably bring up a ladder. I have to work on this for months. This will never really be done. This is a really unique tree net because it's going to be in memory of Danny Gerhardt, who passed away here at Seneca Rocks last year. Yeah, the first person who sent the first highline that we rigged from this tree, named it in memory of him, Aquarius Moon. And yeah, we can put this whole net here in memory of him, and I have coincidentally a bunch of white and blue rope, and it will connect a bunch of smaller trees. The moonshine tree net is one net in one tree. This will probably end up involving like 7 or 8 trees, and I think that's really fitting of Danny's character. If you have any curiosity about Danny and who he was as a person, you can't sell him short. And I encourage you to read the article on climbing.com that was posted fairly recently about him, or donate to his fund that is set up at Penn State. Step 1 is installing some eye bolts into a few of these trees. There's a bunch of different ways you can anchor your perimeter to the trees, and I elect to use stainless steel eye bolts that are really robust. I've done this now for 4 years in the moonshine tree net, and all of them have lasted fantastic. The tree has slowly started to grow around them. It's an older tree, so it's not growing a ton anymore. It grows a little bit by bit, but in any case, it probably will eventually engulf all of them. But the nice thing is, these can be cut out, added to, modified on the fly. They are permanent, but they can be changed in the future. And I do drill a pilot hole to screw them in. As we're uphill here a little bit, you can sort of get an idea of how I'll incorporate several trees into one big net that points to that front tree, which is out where the rocks are. And it will, from this uphill perspective, be anchored lower to the trees, and then anchored a little bit higher to the frontmost tree. And once the net is built for this first level, that's going to, go approximately like somewhere in this general vicinity, I will use these same trees to create an anchor system that attaches up here and sort of stabilizes this tree when we attach the high lines to go off there to the right. So the first 4 are into the first tree here. Replicate that with 2 back trees, 3 bolts each. Okay, so right now I have the camera exactly level with the bolts over here, and they naturally will have a straight line over to the bolts over there. It'll be a little bit downhill because it'll have like this sort of laying effect where you lay downhill looking at the rocks and out at the lines. So I have to get a set of bolts that are the same height in this tree as over in that tree over there. Got the main perimeter laid out. It's going to be a spectacular little resting spot. I gave it a little thought, and I don't think I need my pulleys today to get this perimeter to a satisfactory tension. So I put a double fisherman in to close it off, just to hand tension. And I have a bunch of extra of this static blue rope that I'm going to use in between the anchor points on the trees to pull inward a little bit and really get that outer edge really nice and secured, while also creating some reinforcement for the internal attachment points to the perimeter, because I'll have 2 different types of blue strands out there to connect to. And yeah, all that being said, I think it's time for another hyperlapse. All right, it's taking shape. We got a inner support structure tensioning our outer perimeter. It's all the same blue rope. The next phase is going to be white static, filling some of this in, getting that perimeter even tighter, and then paracord and smaller cordage all hopefully still pretty low stretch to go in between that white static. All right, let me go grab the white rope. All right, I'm back with the white rope. So we're gonna fill in this central portion. All right, so it's not total disaster that my tripod fell over. I guess I won't have to upload a 30-minute long video of something you're probably not gonna wanna be interested in anyway, but this is what I got done in 30 minutes with static rope that was a pain to work with. I am a little bit too hungry to keep going, so gonna finish off another day. Quick update on the Aquarius net. I didn't feel like recording the whole session of me weaving just this simple white rope. Just filling in the gaps. More to come.